because you have experienced it. Ladies and gentlemen, we talking about it because I want to know, has it really slowed down? Has it declined? Did it actually get worse or did it disappear? Ladies and gentlemen, I definitely want us to talk about it. I got the list. And one of the things that I definitely want to say to everybody is, we're going to go through this topic and we're going to go through it with an open mind because one thing that we are not over here saying is preaching no hate. One thing that we are saying is we're talking about awareness. We just want everybody to be aware, and we ourselves has to be aware of what's going on. And this is the reason why we come up with this topic. It's not because we're talking about hate, because we don't push hate over here. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? We start with love and we always end with love. That's how we rock, because we don't know no other way. So if you a hater or you trying to hate on something, it's okay. You're going to be at distance, you know? So, Pretty Blacks, how you feeling, man? How are you feeling? Are you feeling excellent?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling wonderful.
Man, I want to thank you for the music. The music was lit.
No doubt, no doubt. That's what I do. You know what I mean? Keep it
A-
lit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Major
Big
Pain is
facts.
in the building. I see you, young lady.
Big facts. Shout out to Major Pain.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we talking about minorities experiencing police brutality. I would say at one point it was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's crazy right now because I haven't really seen or heard anything too ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it died down a little, but you never know because, the media control the narrative. So,
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the reason why we want to talk about it and we want for everybody to be aware. One of the reasons why I think that we're not really seeing it that often is because we're kind of getting a grip on things. A lot of the minorities are becoming leaders of the community, and changes are happening.
yeah,
You know, and one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this topic is because I want us to understand that a lot more of us, the minorities,
yeah.
needs to get into political power. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Big Ed is definitely in the building. Salute, big dog. So,
I think another thing that's going on also is
uh huh.
social media, TikTok, all of that. Everybody got cameras, and it seems like there's a big pressure on the police officers now because they first of all got to deal with body cam, and then the people, civilians, they have cameras now. Like you can't nothing, everything is captured on camera.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, whatever is captured on camera, on their camera,
Yeah,
it's
it's
being
for
deleted as
yeah.
required.
But the thing is also the civilians is also able to catch it on camera. It's like
Right, right.
everybody is pulling out a camera.
That is true. I think the first thing, if you see
That's a
anything
gift.
crazy, it's
That's a gift and a curse though,
yeah. Well, okay. Well, talk to me
because
about that.
it's a gift. Of course, you could capture when something wrong, when you wanna defend yourself and fight a case, and you want evidence.
You got
But
it on camera,
yeah,
right?
but it's a curse because a lot of times when things are happening, instead of trying to help, people just pull out cameras.
That is true.
And a lot of times with the police officers, a lot of things on TikTok is it's like they want to be famous by starting something and catching it on camera, which is it's escalating things instead of even.
You think they do that on purpose, or you think that
Yeah,
it's just they're just in their emotions and they just let themselves go?
a lot of people that want to be on like TikTok want to go viral. That's one of their things. Like they want to
You mean the cops, or you mean the?
the civilians, the people.
Oh,
They
okay,
want to
okay.
antagonize the the officers by pulling cameras in their face and doing some of the wildest, dumbest things in the world to get a reaction,
Got you.
so they could,
Got you.
because they know it's popular, and if they capture something on camera, people are gonna stand behind them. So it's like they fiending for it. It's not natural.
Okay, okay. Well, you know what I did? I came up with about 10 lists on some of the reasons why we experience police brutality and racial profiling.
Yeah.
Um, Now, this happened majority to minorities, you know, and I put this list together and I just would like to share it. So we going as usual from 10 down to number
I
one. Go ahead.
big Ed says certain things are staged. I believe that. I believe that's very true. There's certain things that I won't even want to bring back up
Yeah.
because I capture some of the things that it just seemed like it's there to rile up the people. And if you are not a short-minded person, you person that's able to focus on the big picture,
Uh
you
huh.
can see that certain things happen at certain times. Like every summertime, right before the weather gets too hot or too nice,
Uh huh.
a big event happens so they can control everyone to get together about this big event. We do for one right now. For everyone to march, everyone protest together. I believe certain things are staged, but
Okay.
you just have to be intelligent enough to capture it because people are so short-minded. They forget what happened last year, the time stamp, the things that happened the year before, the time stamp. But
I
if
mean, people forget what happened yesterday,
yeah,
much less
yeah,
last year.
yeah, people are very short-minded.
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's get to number 10. Number 10 is actually lack of trust and communication between law enforcement and communities in the minority neighborhoods. Um, so my thought about that is majority of officers in the community don't understand the community.
Yeah,
So obviously they can't talk to the community because they don't see themselves as equal with the community.
yeah,
So I believe that was one reasons why we I want to say we're having so much incidents with police brutality. You know what I'm
yeah. I
saying?
mean, it's difficult bringing somebody. It's like a double-edged sword. Also, it's difficult bringing somebody that haven't lived in that community, didn't hang out in that community, that went nowhere near the community growing up, to
Hmm.
police that community.
Well, that's a fact.
But then it's a double-edged sword because you can't put somebody that grew up there because first of all, it's dangerous for them, their family, and it's easy for them to be corrupted within that community because now they know the people. They got to be a very strong individual to, you know what I mean, keep the law. So it's like
Okay.
it's like a double edged sword, but I believe it's more. It makes more sense having somebody that know the community,
Absolutely.
because a
Absolutely.
cop, a police officer is a police officer. That's just one part of it. But now, when you know the community, you know that you're a police officer. You're able to police the community more, you know, more efficiently. Like more personal with the people instead of you coming off as like an enemy.
Right. No, I agree. I definitely agree. Let's get to number 9. Number 9 is the war on drugs and other things has disappropriately target people of color and minorities.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, the crazy thing about that is that I think that when it comes down to minorities,
Yeah.
we minorities have a certain amount of credentials to say, okay, you know, you're gonna see the minority doing this, and that's what it's gonna be. And I think that because of that is where you get like the racial profiling and the stop and frisk because they expecting for minorities to be have something in their pocket, whether coke, weed or whatever, even though weed is actually legal right now.
Yeah.
But they're expecting to see certain things on certain minority, especially in certain minority neighborhoods.
Yeah, I just want to say, speaking of weed, man, I'm not a smoker, but happy 420 to all the smokers out there, and be safe, enjoy your day.
Okay, okay. Um, let's get let's get to number 8. Um, so political pressure on law enforcement to maintain order and reduce crime rate. So I guess with the politicians that are in power, they trying to say that they don't want these officers. They need these officers to control the mass, so that way uh, there's no crime or the crime reduce, especially while they're in power, because it makes them look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So now everybody they think that is gonna commit a crime, they need to lock them up, or they need to harass them, or they need to do
yeah,
that. So that's the reason why I believe that if a lot of minorities become in power, if we actually get into power as far as political wise,
uh huh,
I think that's when we have certain say over certain things. Even though we do have certain say over it, but I think that we need to be in power so that way certain things we can make a change
yeah.
from the inside.
Nah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. It's difficult being a black person in the political world because
Just minority, period.
yeah,
Because whether black, Hispanic, um, Indian, it's
yeah, it's difficult because
yeah,
you got to keep that balance. People automatically gonna feel like anything you do for your people, that's the only thing that you're gonna want to do is for them. So you got to keep a balance, and it's just become difficult because anything that you do for your people get really like examined and get dissected and separated from everything else that you're doing. So
facts, facts, facts. So, ladies and gentlemen, we talking like this because we got certain goals that we gotta achieve, and certain
oh
things are in the
yeah,
making. So,
oh
at the end of
yeah,
the day,
let them
trust
know,
and
let
believe.
them
We
know,
working, baby. We
let them know.
working.
You
We
know what I
working.
mean?
Let's just work right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We
Holla at me
working.
radio show. You heard we doing big things. You heard we going all
Facts.
the way to the top.
All the way up.
Facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to number 7. Number 7 is saying that poverty, unemployment, and lack of access to education and healthcare in the community of minorities, which can create conditions for crime and unrest. Okay, so basically, if you don't get the opportunity, you go ahead out there and you take the opportunity.
Mm.
Um, the only problem with that is majority of the minority end up trying to hurt people, their own people
Mm.
that's
Okay.
in their own community.
Yeah. Yeah, because they want to prove that it goes right back to what I'm saying is when they do for their people, it get so magnified that what they doing for their people that to balance it now they try to go hard, that try to prove like they not just in office for their people, so they end up, you know what I mean, almost like, single out they community and they go hard, like they police it harder, you know what I mean. So it's like the double-edged sword.
Yeah, well, when you deal with politics, it's like you got to be, I want to say you have to be strong because you need to please one side along with the
Yeah,
other
you got to
side.
keep that balance.
Yeah, and that's not an easy thing to do.
Not at all.
You know,
Especially when they already bumping heads.
exactly,
So it's like I'm gonna
exactly,
please. How am I gonna play both sides? Which
exactly.
is impossible. Cause
So that's why I believe sometimes you just have to step out the box, and
yeah,
sometimes just gotta be able to accept certain criticism because you're gonna get criticized by the
No
other
matter what,
side.
yeah,
You know,
you're gonna get criticized for whatever you do.
exactly. Let, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to number six. Number six is flaws in the legal system that allows for lack of accountability for police officers who use excessive force. So, based on the law actually assists police officers to use certain force against minorities.
Mm,
And sometimes it's about they saying that they feel threatened.
mm.
And if they feel threatened, they're able to do whatever is
That's
necessary
where
to be safe.
the body cams come, big and comes in handy because it's almost like you know, you could say that whatever anything was going on, but now you got to prove it
Wow,
in audio and video. That,
that's a fact. Major Payne said something very important right now. She says she's sorry to say, but there are Latin American people who are very racist as well. So it's um it's amazing because a lot of times you get minorities being trying to go against other minorities, and they don't
mm,
even understand that they're in a bad position already, and you can't be strong if you stand by yourself. You could only be strong if you
stand
stand
with
together.
yeah,
You know,
unity.
exactly. United we stand. So this is one of the things that when I say it's all love and we start with love and we end with love, I really mean that. And if we as people, if we don't really practice that, not just to say it though, is really to practice it. You know, if we don't practice that, we're gonna get put into a really, really bad predicament. You know,
Facts.
because if we can't show love to each other, how we expect police brutality to stop when it comes against us?
Yeah,
So we got to show love to each other in order for love to be shown to us. You know what I'm
fact,
saying?
fact, fact.
So, ladies and gentlemen, time is going. So we're gonna get it going. We're gonna get it going with this list. Number five is actually poor training and supervision of police officers. I mean, that's a fact. When it comes down to training police officers, I don't know the amount of training they get. Um, Major Pain, we gotta get you up here one of these days, so we
Yeah,
could
she
actually
dropping
talk
Jews.
about that.
She dropping some Jews in the chat also.
Oh, facts. Yeah, yeah.
Fact.
But she have experience,
Yeah,
um, and we definitely want to talk to someone with experience.
facts.
Um, let's get to number four though. Um,
Okay.
they say number four is um police forces use excessive force in order to acquire what they think needs to be done. So basically, they doing things by any means necessary, whether it's force, whether it's the mace, whether it's the bat, or whether it's the gun. They do
Hmm.
what they do.
Yeah,
Excessive force is how they do what they do.
yeah.
Let's get to number three. Number three is systemic racism and discrimination within the society and the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
So,
I
I mean,
mean, yeah, that's
it's unfortunate that we got to talk about this in 2023.
yeah.
That racism,
The thing is, racism is so deep in the system, especially the you know,
legal system.
legal system is built off of you know, unfortunately, racism. You know what I mean? But
um,
it's just it's something that until everything gets rewritten and it gets broken down and rebuilt, this is where we will be.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Number two is actually lack of diversity and culture competence training within law enforcement. So I believe that now it's a little different because now we're having a lot of diversity as far as police officers because you're having a lot of minorities within the law enforcement,
Yeah.
so I think that has changed. um Number one is implicit bias and prejudice within law enforcement. I mean, that's what it is. That's to be said. Ladies and gentlemen, we are running out of time. Pretty Blacks, any last comments you want to give in regards to this topic?
Yeah, just be careful out there. It's serious, and a lot of officers they try their best, but sometimes it's not their best. That happens. Sometimes we think we could do better or they could do better, but just know that it's a dangerous situation. So it's just best to play it safe, and
Facts, facts,
you know what I mean.
facts.
Live to see another day.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we won't even have no time for any music. We're going to sign off by saying love is love. And, ladies and gentlemen, let's practice love. And the other thing is that I definitely want for all of us to get into power. I want us to be in power so that way we are able to make certain changes. A lot of times we can make changes from the outside, but when we get on the inside, that's when the power lies. Ladies and gentlemen, peace and love. This is Holla at Me Radio. I am King Money, and this is Pretty Blacks.
Yes, sir.
Love is love.